war had lasted for years. Humans fought hard to keep their freedom. They lived in space, far from Earth, on many planets. Their home was not one place, but many small colonies. Each colony was tough and ready to fight. The leader of the humans was Queen Margaret Lane. She was strong and smart. People looked up to her because she made good choices when danger came. There was a rule in space, known by many groups who fought wars. The rule said, never chase humans. The reason was simple. Humans were dangerous. They did not fight like others. They could be wild and hard to catch. Many had tried to chase humans before. All failed. The humans would fight back harder and find ways to survive. So most war leaders stayed away from chasing them. But not General Carter James. He was angry and wanted to win at any cost. He wanted to teach the humans a lesson. After a big fight that cost him many soldiers, he decided to break the rule. He ordered his fleet to chase the humans deeper into space. This was the first time in many years that someone broke this rule. Captain Jack Miller was one of the best human fighters. He had flown many battles in space and won most of them. When he heard that the enemy was chasing them, he knew things would get worse. Jack was brave and never gave up. He took command of a small fleet of ships. His job was to protect the colonies and fight back if needed. Queen Margaret called a meeting with her leaders. She spoke with a calm but strong voice. "We cannot run forever," she said. "We must stand and fight. If we do not, we will lose everything." Her words gave hope to the people. They knew the war was coming closer, but they were ready. The colonies worked fast to prepare for war. Engineers and workers built new weapons and ships. Soldiers trained day and night. People helped in any way they could. Even children and older people found ways to support the fight. They were not just fighting for land or power. They were fighting for their homes and families. Jack Miller looked at his fleet as they moved toward the next battle. The ships were not the biggest or the strongest, but they were fast and smart. Jack believed that with skill and courage, they could beat the enemy. He also trusted his team. Among them was Lieutenant Anna Brooks, a sharp and quick thinker. She had helped plan many successful attacks. Together, they were ready to face what was coming. As the enemy fleet got closer, tension grew. The skies over the human colonies were not calm anymore. The people watched the stars, hoping to see the enemy first. When the first attack came, it was sudden and strong. Explosions lit up space as ships clashed. Jack led his squadron into the fight. He shouted orders that his team followed without question. The battle was hard. Many ships were damaged, and lives were lost. But the humans fought with a fire that the enemy did not expect. They did not give up. Jack's squadron moved quickly, using the small size of their ships to their advantage. They attacked, dodged, and struck again. Each fight made the humans stronger and more determined. Queen Margaret watched from the command center. She knew the war was just beginning. The enemy had broken the old rule, and this meant no peace was near. But she also knew that the humans had something more important than any rule, heart, and courage. She was ready to lead her people through the darkness. The chase had begun, but the humans would not be caught easily. The story of their fight was just starting. Queen Margaret stood tall in the main hall of the human colony. Her eyes were sharp and full of fire. The news from the front lines was not good. The enemy had pushed past many outposts and was moving closer. The ancient rule was broken. The enemy was chasing the humans, and this meant one thing. The war was about to become even harder. She called her closest officers to her side. Among them was Lieutenant Anna Brooks. Anna was quick and smart. She had seen many battles and knew how to plan attacks. Sam Clark, a young engineer, stood nearby. He was working on new weapons that might help turn the war around. "We need to unite all the colonies," Margaret said. "If we fight alone, we will lose. Together, we stand a chance." Her voice was steady and sure. Everyone in the room knew that the Queen was not just talking. She meant what she said. Anna nodded. "I will take the message to the outer colonies. Many of them want to help but don't know how," Sam added. "I've been working on new weapons. They are not ready yet, but soon we will have a chance to surprise our enemy." The Queen smiled slightly. "Good. Go quickly. Every day counts." Anna left with a small team. They traveled fast, moving from one colony to the next. Some places were damaged by the war, but the people still worked hard. They welcomed Anna and listened carefully. Many joined the cause. They brought ships, weapons, and fighters. The human spirit was strong, and it grew with each new ally. Back on the main planet, Sam worked in the lab. His hands moved carefully over the machines. He mixed old human designs with parts captured from the enemy's ships. The result was a weapon that could change the way they fought. It was faster, more powerful, and harder to stop. Sam called it the Pulse Blaster. If it worked as planned, it could help the humans win battles, even when they were outnumbered. The Queen watched the progress. She knew that fighting a war was more than just battles. It was about hope and belief. People needed to feel that they could win. Margaret often spoke to the soldiers, reminding them of what was at stake. She told them stories of past heroes and victories. She gave them strength. Captain Jack Miller was back on the front lines. He flew his ship with steady hands. His squadron had grown stronger with new fighters from the outer colonies. He trusted them all. Jack knew that the enemy was still dangerous, but the humans had something the enemy did not heart. During one battle, Jack and Anna worked together to stop an attack on a small human outpost. The enemy ships came fast and strong. Jack's squadron fought fiercely in space, while Anna led the ground forces. She used smart tactics to defend the base. The humans held their ground. After the fight, Jack said, "We can win if we keep fighting like this." Anna smiled. It is not just fighting. It is about being smart and working together. Their trust in each other grew stronger with every battle. Meanwhile, the enemy became more reckless. They wanted to break the humans quickly. They did not understand that breaking the rule made humans fight with more fury. Every attack only made the humans more determined. The humans fought for their homes, for their families, and for their queen. Queen Margaret stood in her command room, looking at the stars. She thought about the long fight ahead. She knew the enemy had broken the rule of war, but she also knew that humans never gave up. They fought with courage, and sometimes that was enough to change the course of a war. The humans were ready. The Queen was ready. And the war was far from over. The day of the big battle arrived. The enemy fleet was moving fast toward the human outpost on Epsilon Prime. The outpost was small, but important. If it fell, the enemy would have a strong base near many human colonies. Captain Jack Miller was ready. His ships were in position around the planet, waiting for the attack. On the ground, Lieutenant Anna Brooks prepared her team. Soldiers checked their weapons and stood behind shields. The outpost's defenses were not strong, but Anna knew the enemy would not expect what the humans had planned. She believed they could win if they worked together. The first enemy ships appeared in the sky. They moved quickly, shooting lasers and missiles. The sound of explosions filled the air. Jack's squadron flew out to meet them. His pilots dodged attacks and fired back. The battle was fierce. Many ships were hit and some were lost. But the humans did not stop fighting. Anna and her team worked fast on the ground. They set traps and blocked enemy advances. When enemy soldiers landed, Anna's team fought hard. They used the terrain to their advantage, hiding behind rocks and ruins. The enemy was strong, but the humans were smarter. They knew the land better and used it to their benefit. Jack led a daring attack on one of the enemy's large ships. He flew close, dodging missiles, and fired his ship's most powerful weapon. The enemy ship exploded in a bright fireball. Jack's squad cheered, but he knew the fight was far from over. Back at the outpost, Anna saw the enemy forces starting to weaken. She ordered her team to push forward. The soldiers moved with speed and courage. They captured enemy weapons and used them against their attackers. The outpost was theirs again. The battle lasted for hours. Both sides fought with all they had, and humans were hurt, but they never gave up. Jack and Anna worked together to lead their people through the fight. Their teamwork showed the strength of human unity. Queen Margaret watched the battle from her command center. She smiled with pride. Her people were strong. They faced the enemy's attack and did not break. She knew this victory was important, but the war was not over yet. Enemy would come back, and the humans had to be ready. After the battle, Jack and Anna met at the outpost's command post. They were tired and covered in dust, but their eyes showed hope. Jack said, "We held the line today. We proved that humans can fight no matter the odds." Anna nodded. It is more than fighting. It is our will to survive and protect what is ours. They talked about the next steps. Anna planned to send messages to other colonies to help defend more outposts. Jack prepared his fleet for the next battle. Both knew the enemy would not stop chasing them. But now, the humans had shown they could win, even when the enemy came with full force. The outpost on Epsilon Prime became a symbol for all humans. It showed that they could fight back and protect their homes. Stories of the battle spread quickly. People in every colony talked about the bravery of Jack, Anna, and all the soldiers. Meanwhile, the enemy was angry and confused. It expected an easy win, but the humans surprised them. They began to fear the human spirit more than their weapons. This fear made them more careless. They pushed forward too fast, making mistakes. Queen Margaret used this chance to prepare a new plan. She knew the humans could not only defend, but also attack. She wanted to take the fight to the enemy's forces and stop them from chasing any longer. Jack and Anna were ready to lead. They believed that the humans were not just survivors, but warriors. They would fight for their homes, for their queen, and for their future in the stars. The war was far from over, but the humans were stronger now. They'd fought a great battle and won, and they were ready for whatever came next. Queen Margaret stood in the center of the command room. Round her were maps, screens, and reports from the front lines. The war had changed. The enemy was chasing the humans deeper into their space. The Queen knew she had to take a risk. Sam Clark, the young engineer, came forward with a new idea. "We have something that could help," he said. "It is a weapon built with parts we took from their ships and our own technology." His eyes shone with hope. Margaret looked at the weapon's design. It was called the Pulse Blaster. It was small but powerful. Sam explained that it could fire energy faster than any human weapon before. It could also disrupt enemy shields. If it worked, it could turn the battle in their favor. The Queen made a decision. "We will use the Pulse Blaster," she said, "but carefully. We cannot waste it or lose it to the enemy." She called Captain Jack Miller and Lieutenant Anna Brooks to her side. "You two will lead the next attack. Use the Pulse Blaster where it matters most." Jack and Anna listened closely. They both understood the weight of this order. It was a chance to change the war, but if they failed, the enemy would grow stronger. Jack looked at Anna and nodded. "We will not fail." The human fleet moved out. The ships were ready for battle. The enemy was near, still chasing. This time the humans would fight back with new strength. The first battle was quick and fierce. Jack's squadron attacked enemy supply ships. Using the Pulse Blaster, they destroyed several ships before the enemy could react. The weapon worked better than anyone expected. It shocked the enemy and gave the humans the upper hand. Anna led the ground forces in a surprise attack. She used the confusion caused by the Pulse Blaster to capture a key enemy base. Her soldiers fought bravely, pushing the enemy back. The humans took control of the base, gaining valuable weapons and supplies. Back on the command ship, Queen Margaret watched the battle unfold. She felt pride in her people. They were fighting harder and smarter. The Pulse Blaster was a gift, but it was their courage and skill that won battles. Despite the victory, some humans doubted the plan. They worried that using alien technology might cause problems. Some thought it was dangerous or dishonorable. The Queen spoke to them with calm strength. "We must use every tool we have to protect our people," she said. "This war is not about pride. It is about survival." The humans worked hard to build more Pulse Blasters. Sam led the team, teaching others how to make and use the weapon. The new technology spread quickly, and the human fighters grew stronger with it. Captain Jack and Lieutenant Anna became leaders the people trusted. They planned new attacks, helping to push the enemy back further. They knew the war was not over, but they were ready to fight for their homes. One day, during a quiet moment, Jack talked to Anna. "This war is changing us," he said. "We are becoming more than just survivors. We are warriors." Anna agreed. "And we are showing the enemy that they made a mistake chasing us." The enemy grew desperate. They had broken the rule and now faced a human force stronger than ever. Their attacks became reckless. This gave the humans chances to win more battles. Queen Margaret used every victory to bring hope to her people. She sent messages of strength and unity to all the colonies. The humans were no longer running. They were standing tall and fighting back. The pulse blaster was a turning point in the war. It was a symbol of human skill and courage. It showed that humans could learn and adapt. They would never be easy to catch or defeat. The war was still dangerous. The enemy was fierce, but the humans had a new weapon and new hope. Queen Margaret looked at the stars and made a promise. She would protect her people no matter what. The fight was far from over, but the humans were ready for what came next. They had a queen who believed in them, leaders who fought beside them, and a new power to help win the war. General Carter James was angry. His fleet had lost many ships. The humans were stronger than he expected. But instead of stopping, he made a dangerous choice. He ordered his forces to chase the humans deep into their territory. He wanted to finish the war quickly, no matter the cost. Queen Margaret learned of this. She knew the enemy was breaking the ancient rule of war. Chasing humans into their space was dangerous for the enemy, but they did it anyway. The Queen called her leaders again. "They want to hunt us down," she said, "but we will not be easy prey." Captain Jack Miller and Lieutenant Anna Brooks prepared their forces for a final trap. They planned to use the land and space around the colony of New Hope to their advantage. The humans knew every mountain, valley, and space route. They would use this knowledge to surprise the enemy. The day came when the enemy fleet entered human space. Their ships were large and powerful, but slow. Jack's fleet hid in asteroid fields and used quick attacks to damage enemy ships. His pilots moved fast, firing and then disappearing before the enemy could fight back. On the ground, Anna led a special team to attack enemy supply lines. She moved her soldiers through forests and caves. They destroyed enemy fuel and weapon stores. Without supplies, the enemy would weaken quickly. The trap worked well. The enemy ships became confused. They did not expect the humans to fight so fiercely on their own ground. Jack and Anna's forces struck hard and fast. Enemy ships were destroyed one by one. During the battle, Queen Margaret took a risk. She led a small team on a mission to destroy the enemy's command ship. The ship was large and well defended, but the Queen was brave. With Jack and Anna's help, she found a way inside. The Queen and her team fought through the ship. The battle was tough. Many of her soldiers were hurt, but they reached the control room. Queen Margaret planted explosives that would destroy the ship. The explosion shook space. The enemy command ship was gone. Without it, their forces lost control. Many enemy ships stopped fighting or fled. General James was captured by Jack's squad. He had no choice but to surrender. The humans had won a great victory. Queen Margaret did not celebrate. She knew the war had cost many lives. She also knew the enemy still had soldiers left. She chose to show mercy. She offered terms to the captured enemy forces. "We fight for survival, not for hate," she told her officers. "If they lay down their weapons, we will protect them." This choice surprised many. Some wanted revenge, but the Queen believed mercy was a sign of strength. The enemy leaders agreed to the terms. They would stop chasing humans. The ancient rule was broken, but a new peace was possible. The humans returned home as heroes. Jack and Anna were praised for their courage. Queen Margaret's leadership was remembered as the reason for their victory. The war had tested humanity. It had shown their strength, skill, and heart. The humans proved they were not easy to catch or defeat. They fought for their homes and families with everything they had. The stars were quiet again, but the humans knew they had to stay ready. The galaxy was a dangerous place. Queen Margaret promised her people that they would be strong and united. No one would ever chase humanity without paying a high price. The story of this great battle would be told for many years. It was a story of courage, hope, and the will to survive. Peace had come to the human colonies. The enemy no longer chased them. The war had ended with Queen Margaret's strength and mercy, but the humans knew that peace could not last forever. They needed to rebuild and prepare for the future. Captain Jack Miller flew over the main colony. The sky was clear and ships moved slowly in the spaceport. Many soldiers were back from the war and families waited for them with open arms. Jack smiled as he saw children playing and people working together.
Oh no.
Lieutenant Anna Brooks walked through the streets. She visited hospitals and schools. She spoke to the people and told stories of bravery. The humans had fought hard, and now they had to build new lives. Anna believed in the future, but she also knew that the wounds of war would take time to heal. Queen Margaret held meetings every day. She worked to unite the many colonies into one strong group. She wanted to make sure that no enemy could ever chase humanity again. She spoke to the leaders and listened to their concerns. "We must be ready," she said. "We have learned many lessons. We will build stronger ships, better weapons, and smarter defenses. But we must also work for peace." Sam Clark continued to work on new technology. His team built ships that were faster and stronger. They improved the pulse blaster and created new tools to protect the colonies. Sam believed that the best defense was being ready for any attack. One day, Jack and Anna met at the training grounds. New soldiers were practicing their skills. Jack said, "These young fighters are the future. We must teach them well." Anna agreed. "They need to know what we faced and what we won. They must be ready to defend their homes." The humans built new schools for training soldiers and leaders. They shared the stories of the war, the battles, and the bravery. The Queen made sure that every colony had a chance to learn and grow. But peace was not easy. Some people still feared the enemy might return. Others wanted to forget the war and move on quickly. Queen Margaret knew balance was important. She worked hard to keep hope alive and prepare for what might come. One night, Margaret stood alone on a balcony, looking at the stars. She thought about the long fight and the many lives lost. She promised herself and her people that she would protect them no matter what. Captain Jack stood nearby. He said, "The war changed us all, but it made us stronger. We will watch the stars, ready for anything." Anna joined them. "We fought because we love our homes and families. That love will keep us safe." Together, they looked up at the stars, feeling the quiet power of peace. The war was over, but the humans were ready to face the future. Queen Margaret's voice was strong and clear when she spoke to her people. "We will never forget the past. We will honor those who fought, and we will keep our people safe." The story of humanity's courage will live on forever. The humans smiled, knowing that no one would ever chase them without facing the full strength of their spirit. The future was unknown, but the humans were ready. They had their queen, their leaders, and each other. Together they would face whatever came next. Years had passed since the last battle. Human colonies were peaceful and growing. Queen Margaret still ruled with strength and wisdom. Her people trusted her. She worked every day to keep the peace and prepare for the future. Captain Jack Miller had become a leader of the new defense force. He trained young pilots and taught them how to fight with skill and courage. He told them the story of the war and how breaking the rule of war did not stop the humans from winning. Jack believed that the key to victory was never giving up. Lieutenant Anna Brooks worked with the leaders of the colonies. She helped build new systems to share information quickly and protect everyone. Anna knew that communication was as important as weapons in a fight. She believed that working together was the best way to stay strong. One day, Queen Margaret called a meeting. The leaders of all the colonies came to the main planet. The Queen spoke clearly and with power. "We have won many battles," she said. "But the war has taught us one important truth. We must stand united to protect our homes and our people." The leaders agreed. They promised to work together and share their strength. They formed a new council to guide the colonies. This council would help keep the peace and prepare for any threats. Margaret looked around the room. She saw hope and trust in the eyes of her people. She knew the future was in good hands. "We are no longer just survivors," she said. "We are protectors of humanity." Captain Jack and Lieutenant Anna stood by her side. They had fought hard and lost much, but they believed in the promise of a better future. They knew that the war had changed them, but it had also made them stronger. The humans built new ships and trained new soldiers. They kept the pulse blaster and other weapons ready, but they also worked on peace and growth. Colonies grew richer and safer. The people lived without fear of being chased or hunted. Queen Margaret often visited the places where soldiers and workers built the future. She listened to their stories and encouraged them to be brave. She reminded them that every person had a role in keeping peace. One evening, Jack, Anna, and Margaret stood on a hill watching the sunset. The sky was filled with colors, and the stars began to shine. Jack said, "We have come far from those dark days, but we must never forget." Anna nodded. "The war taught us what it means to fight for something bigger than ourselves." The Queen smiled, and it showed the power of unity. As long as we stand together, no one can break us. The future was bright for humanity. They had learned that war could test their limits, but it could never break their spirit. The humans would keep their homes safe, not by running or hiding, but by standing tall and fighting for what they believed in. Queen Margaret's last words that night were full of hope. The story of humanity is not just about war. It is about courage, strength, and love for each other. We are ready for whatever comes next. The stars shone above them. The humans looked up and knew that they were free. No one would ever chase humanity again.